Today I'm going to demonstrate how to write to a file, and I'm also going to introduce read lines while reading from our input file and the lists slice method to skip over the input file's header line. Let's go ahead and get started with that. Let's get our temperature file set up. So on the Python project level, right click, new, file, and then enter the name. I'll use Temps.txt like in the last video. And then I put some data in the description. It looks just like that. So we're going to have some sort of header line that we want to skip over, and there's going to be new line characters at the end of each line. So if you want to set up your own file. All right, now let's go to our main.py file, and we're going to read that in. We'll get a file reference up here. File reference or file reference variable, and then we'll say open. We're on the same level as our file, so we don't need to do any relative path stuff. We could just put the file name in, and I'll say R for read. We'll get the, how about temp lines for temperature lines. I'll say file ref read lines. There we go. So that's going to read in all of our lines. And then we can close this file, file ref, whoops, lowercase c, close, and let's go ahead and print it out. Temp lines equals temp lines. Hit run. There we go. And we got them all kind of listed out here. This is a list. Each value in the list is a string that's a line. And you can see the new line character here, that /n. And we got one for each line, right? There's your /n. I'll go ahead and get rid of this print statement for now. And let's do a for loop. So for, how about line in temp lines? And we don't want the first line, right? We don't want the header line. So I'm going to use the slice method. I'll just do this 1, and instead of starting at 0 for our list, we're going to start at 1, and then we're going to go to the end of the list. Now, you can put the end of the list in there, right? You could do this length, temp lines, and that's going to go to the last element. We can leave it like that, or you could just leave it blank, 1, nothing, and then the close bracket, and you're going to go to the end of your list. All right, either one's fine. We can print out the line just to see if things are going well. And we want to get a total. We're going to do averages. So we'll say total equals 0, count equals 0. We need to go through each line to get the temperature so that we can add them up. We can add them and then average them. So I'll say for temp in line dot split. We'll split on the comma. I'll just do single comma. I don't want to do a comma space in case someone missed a space. And the spaces don't mess up our temperature conversion from string to float. So let's do total plus equals float temp. We'll get the count plus equals 1. And then from that, we'll make an average, right? So we'll get the total divided by the count. I want to store this average in a list, and we don't have one. Let's put one above our for loop. I'll go to line 4, hit enter. I'll call this daily averages, and we'll make it an empty list. Let's go down to the bottom of the for loop, but indented so that this average gets appended to our daily averages properly. So we'll do daily averages append avg. Let's print this out. Whoops, let's print it out at the end of the program run. So we'll do daily averages equals daily averages. Hit the run. Look at that. We got our daily averages and we skipped over our header line, right? So we had that slice thing here. right? We started at line 1, so we skipped 0. This is pretty handy because now this number is not inclusive. It stops right before. So if I go 1 to 2, we're only going to read in that first line, the first data line. Skip over the header, read in the first data line. Let's take a look real quick. Boom, here we go. We got one line, starts at 55. If you look at your temps, it's that line right there. All right, so that's pretty handy to know. If you go 3, it'll read in the first data line and the second data line. You don't have to go to the length though. If you leave this blank and we hit the run button, look at that. It defaulted to the end. So the end of the list. So that saves a little bit of coding. Now let's go ahead and write to our file. So we'll go down here. We can leave that print statement if we want. And I'm going to use this same variable, FileRef equals. I'll do an open. And now I'm going to make a new file. I'm going to call it my output.txt. And we'll use the W to denote the write. And we can write like a little header line. We'll do file ref dot write, and I'll say these are the daily, did I spell daily right? Oh yeah, daily averages. And then put a slash line so you get a new line after you do the write. All right, let's do a for loop now. And we'll go through our averages, printing out the averages with a formatted string. So I'll say for I in, oh, you know what? I need I as a counter. I need it like 1, 2, 3, 4 because I want to list my line numbers. How about we use this range function and we'll go to the length, if I can spell it right, the length of the daily averages. So that's going to get me, I is going to be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. I'll say file ref write. How about day, open and close curly brackets, comma, average. How about average dot temp? And then open and close curly brackets. And we'll do our little format here. Format, we'll put the first value in, which is the I, the counter. And the second one will be the daily averages. I'm going to move this over so you could see it. And we're going to use our index. Right, there we go. All right, we want a new line. I'll put that here. FileRef dot write, and then just do a /n. That's just going to append that to make a new line character in our file as we're going through our daily averages. Oh, and let's format this too, right? We don't want something big like that. Let's format our temperature. I'll do : dot, how about 2F? All right. And then don't forget to close your file. So do FileRef, close. Let's try it. Hit the run. All right, we got our print out. Let's take a look at my output. Oh, look at that. I spelled output wrong. That's all right. We could do this. Add a T, run it again. Now we got 2. I'll just delete this. Yeah, how about we delete? There we go. Yep, safe delete. Let's see what we got. Open that up. Oh, look at that. And we have them all formatted real nice. All right, so I will see you in the next video.